first run is going to be Shattered Realm, and then we'll do some bounties to try and get the rep up before finishing with what's it called? Oh, my brain isn't working.
The oracles of dream.
Boat car. Good morning. How are you doing today? I need to use my potion. How's the weather in your part of the world? That always sucks when you get hurt a little bit. My day's pretty good. I mean, I'm just waking up. Got my coffee and trying to get up and ready for work. It's the start of the day. Right now, 4:30 in the morning. Just doing a little bit of this before I go running, and then doing some fighting. Got something I did yesterday, so that was nice. Are you getting anything this evening? Usually it's just like, what do I feel like playing, honestly. Or I'll like come across a green, and I'll be like, I want to try and make a build out of that. Or for this one, like for a lot of these, it's been like, what's a pretty easy starter, or what could be an easy starter, except for the Drain Essence one. That one was just terrible. But it's supposed to be like I usually just pick an item and then start working from there, or pick a skill. Like the next build I want to do is
Well done.
Bone Harvest spam. Like it's dual wield Bone Harvest, because like they made Reaper now have double vitality resist reduction. So you can play like a vitality damage Reaper and have full damage. They've also buffed Bone Harvest damage. And for dual wield, that's pretty powerful. there's a one-handed weapon on a one-handed MI. It's a starter build. I mean, the in-game version uses the Morganite set from Tomb of the Heretic, and I've looked at that and it looks really good too. But for the starter build, it still looks really good. And it's like the main idea is using the it's like the one-handed side-looking axe from the underground area that you go to when you're going to Homestead. Yeah, Vitality Phantasmal Blades also looks pretty good. Phantasmal Blades, I might go Witch Hunter or Elemental. Surprisingly enough. Because there's a lot of good, like Phantasmal Blades kind of items that are good with Shaman as well. And they buffed, what's it called recently? Devouring Swarm. So it does a lot more damage for a Vitality dot. But the problem with Reaper is very squishy usually, so you've got to play extra tanky. But they buffed Reaper a lot in the last patch. They buffed Nightblade, they buffed, what's it called? Necromancer. Two of the classes I don't play very much. It looks good though. But yeah, like Bone Harvest is a 3-second cooldown, and you can get minus 1.5 second per weapon. Well, 2 of those weapons, now it's a 0-second cooldown, you just spam it. And that's why I was thinking Vitality Bone Harvest, and those weapons also turn the damage to 100% Vitality. Problem is, you have to play pure Nightblade until Homestead. You cannot take your second class until after Homestead because you have to be Timeless Chosen. The starter build. For me, like, Reaper has like the best damage of any of the classes, but its survivability is very sus. Like, I mean, if you sit there and like, it's like, cause it's gotta be pure melee unless you're doing Phantasmal Blades, which if you're doing that, and it doesn't have the best health because there's not much from it. Yeah, Cold Reaper is massive DPS with the Malkador blades. Well, they did nerf it a little bit, but that's because they gave Cold RR to like they nerfed the Malkador version of the Cold Reaper, but they buffed Cold Reaper in general by giving Cold RR to Necromancer. They also gave Acid RR to Necromancer, so you could play the Acid version of that, but it's not as good as the Cold version. I think in the end, the nerf is going to end up at about the same amount of damage. You no longer need flat RR in that build though. Flat RR, like Blade, like this build was made because they buffed Blade RR to that. It's okay. I wanted to do this originally as a blade or blade master. The problem is it's just not as good as Warlord for this. Yeah, acid looks pretty good. It's just a lot of like in Endgame Acid Reaper is really good, but starter Acid Reaper is not. Like there's not as many MIs that really benefit both classes. Like you could do Acid Shadow Strike is probably a good way to play the Reaper, or what is it? Acid Circle of Slaughter with the big two-handed weapon. But the two-handed weapon wasn't buffed as much as the other stuff. Yeah, especially because they gave acid resistance reduction to Reaper. That's really solid now. Yeah, they say they buffed RE, but I just don't like it mechanically. It might be real. Like, I mean, it's good if you get the cooldown off of it, but I don't like RE mechanically. I've never, like, it never sits well with me to play through RE. So, like, cause it's one of those skills that's like, it's good if you sit down on an enemy, but unlike Blackwater Cocktail, it's much more finicky. Like, it's like, it's the Necromancer version of Blackwater Cocktail, but it's the Blackwater Cocktail you have at home. Like, it's just not as great. The damage is not as great either. That's why almost none of my builds ever use RE, because I hate it mechanically. Like, it could shotgun, but more often than not, because of its range, it barely gets any monsters, unless you're playing it with, like, a semi-melee build. Which, when you're playing RE, you don't want to be playing a semi-melee build.
Well done.
We're on shard 4 of 10. I believe all the quests go through 10 now, by the way. Or at least that's what it was last time I went through here. If you like the way RE plays, yeah, he got a pretty big buff in this last patch for like Acid RE. I don't like the way it plays. I'm trying to think. They also buffed Ill Omen, which is, I mean, they buffed the damage portion of Ill Omen. Kind of like they buffed the damage portion of, what's it called? Oh god, Devouring Swarm. They made Devouring Swarm do a lot more damage. It's actually one of the best shaman skills in the game now. Like, it's probably better to play Devouring Swarm than it is to play Primal Strike for the first like 10-15 levels. Like, it used to be really good to play for the first, like, 5-10 levels to do Devouring Swarm instead of Primal Strike. And then they buffed Primal Strike, and it wasn't anymore. And now they buffed it back, or they buffed that, so it goes. My favorite change from the patch? Personally, I like the in-game change to Aether Word of Pain. Like, Aether Word of Pain is a really good build, but it's a conduit build. Like, you have to have the conduit to do it, but it's really good. As far as like small things, I really like adding the RR to other classes, like spreading out the different types of RR. For like, what's it, Occultist, Necromancer, Nightblade. Having the different types of RR is really nice. Because it lets you do different types of characters. Yeah, the Chaos RR. And also, like, they buffed Sigil of Consumption, and they buffed, what's it called? Like, Sigil and Doombolt are really powerful now. Like, you can get almost like, what is it, 0.3 or 0.4 second cooldown, Sigil of Consumption. Yeah, they did buff that, but Aether Ray is still in such a bad state right now. I tried putting on my Aether Ray character the other day, and it didn't feel good. Like, compared to like almost any other character. They could have buffed Kalidor's Tempest damage. I would have been happy with that, but they didn't because it's pretty much fine right now. But, like, the biggest thing Kalidor's Tempest doesn't have is MI support. They buffed Trozen though. That was kind of weird. Aether's Sigil is, yeah, that's the thing. I hate this one. This is just like a time sink one. There's also no treasure chest in this. Lead, which this map is removed from SR. Yeah. I honestly just, like, I would, like, doing, like, any Doombolt build is really powerful now, I think. Especially if you're gonna do, like, Doombolt spam, like the cold Doombolt spam builds. Like, you could do like, cold Doombolt with Necromancer, or cold Doombolt with, what's it called? With Nightblade. Cold Doombolt with Inquisitor. You need the conduit for Cold Doombolt, bro. Yeah, you can't do full Aether Sigil, what's it called anymore, without the conduit, and then you don't get weapon damage to it for that Aether damage. Because that was how Aether Ray survived a lot of times, was weapon damage. Without weapon damage. The Cold Doom Bolt was nerfed because the base skill of Doom Bolt was buffed by so much, and the buff from Cold Doom Bolt was so high, or the buff from Doom Bolt was so high that Cold Doom Bolt was actually buffed. Like it was nerfed in general. Like the conduit itself was nerfed because the skill itself was buffed so hard. But base Doom Bolt was buffed even more because of that, though, because the cooldown was also removed. Like, the cooldown was also lowered. The area was increased. But yeah, Cold Doom Bolt is still freaking amazing. Some of the other stuff they buffed was really good too. Let's see how tank this stuff. I need to be able to tank these guys. I'm going to tank Warlord. Oh yeah, no problem.
Well done.
What, 5 more shards, I think? I try to roll up a conduit and see what you like. Just play around with it if you have it. Some of the set changes were really nice. I like now they have like a full Blackwater cocktail set. Like you can actually play an in-game Blackwater cocktail set. Like the Blaze Heart. I can't remember the exact name of it. Blaze something that used to use part of it for an in-game Blackwater cocktail because it would convert some of your damage to vitality. But now you don't use the you use the full set now, and it goes perfectly well with the rest of the Blackwater cocktail. You just do a full Blackwater cocktail build, like full fire Blackwater cocktail. It wasn't really for Bright Lord wasn't really for Blackwater cocktail. Like it was more like spam Blackwater cocktail, not so much. And I believe like you lost something when you used that set. There was like I didn't really ever use it very much. Like I used like two piece, I believe, when I played Blackwater cocktail before. Bright Lord, that's it. Infernal Knight is... I think Infernal Knight is better for not using abilities. Like, I don't... Like, I remember only ever using two-piece Infernal Knight when I was playing it before. Like, playing an in-game version of the Blackwater Cocktail build. But, yeah, like, Infernal Knight is okay for Blackwater Cocktail, but it was never really amazing for Blackwater Cocktail. I think that was part of the problem. Like, it was better a lot of times to use the MIs instead, because you could get Like the biggest problem with Blackwater Cocktail is it didn't have a necklace. There was no necklace for Blackwater Cocktail that increases damage. Yeah. You lose like is an Infernal Knight a weapon? Or is it a metal? It's been a while since I actually looked through my Endgame builds. I did have an Infernal Knight build, but I didn't use it for Blackwater Cocktail. Like the biggest key is running the burn damage that... Oh, masking. Oh yeah, Bell. That's it. Belt is a very big opportunity cost, but yeah. Bright Lord's the one you lose the weapon for, but it actually gives you a weapon that's like it's not best, but it's not terrible for the build. Like, I'm still on the fence of what I would go, if I would go full set or not. I might not go full set for Bright Lord. Because it might still be better to use the weapon, especially like the Blackwater Cocktail weapon, since they buffed its burn damage in the last patch. But I'm using my Guardian's Assault, or not using my Guardian's Assault time. At least I've had my Guardian's on. That would make me feel extra stupid if I haven't had my Guardians on this whole time. Buffing that because we want to be tankier.
Well done. This portion of the
Yeah,
Shattered Realm
I might
clear
go
of threats, and its power ours for the taking.
3-piece Bright Lord and two-piece IK, and not do the first letter either. If I'm going to play a Blackwater Cocktail build, just because they buffed the Blackwater Cocktail weapon. Like the Blackwater Cocktail Legendary. The Blackwater Cocktail MI is for Blackwater Cocktail Spam. It's better for Blackwater Cocktail Spam, not Blackwater Cocktail. They did buff Blackwater Cocktail Spam too. Just make a pure Blackwater Cocktail build. I mean, Blackwater Cocktail is already one of the best builds in the game. Like Bomberman style. Play the Source Elementalist or, what is the other one? Whatever the Inquisitor variant, Purifier? Purifier's really good with Blackwater Cocktail too. Because you can use, what's it called? Rune McAllister? There's a Nemesis, but we're already too far. Nemesis never shows up when you really need him. I do kind of want to fight the Nemesis anyway, though. Who is it? Iron Maiden, I think fine. I just want to fight the Nemesis, not because like it'd be faster to go kill other stuff, but I just want the to test out my tankiness. This question is like, am I going to die when I fight Lokar? Yes or no? Maybe. Yeah, also like Blackwater Cocktail from start to end game is just really good. I think Bomberman is also one of the best boss killers and clearers as well. Because it's like, it's super safe because it's running away. Most of its damage is dot damage. So you have really good damage uptime. It has very good area of effect. And they nerfed, or they buffed Blackwater Cocktail a bit and nerfed cooldown Blackwater Cocktail, but not by much. And then they buffed all the items for it, so it balances out. Be ready as soon as you see his what's it called? His I'm gonna use my what's it called? When you fight Zarthulian, that's the big first thing you need to do is watch out for his nerf ability, or his Sunder ability. That's it. Three more chunks.
Well done.
And then we'll do a few bounties, I guess, to get our rep and level to 100. Usually I do bounties during the campaign, but this playthrough I was trying to make a point. Because Gnomish Inquisition claimed you didn't need bounties as long as you did the right amount, like you did everything, you didn't skip stuff. I didn't skip stuff, I did extra dungeons. And I still need rep. And, like, honestly, the play is to not even do bounties, is to spend 1 hour going through Elite, Act 1, 2, and 7. Like, the first half of Act 7, and the first half, and then the first 2 acts. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes to do all 3 of those. You don't need the XP. I mean, I guess you'd say, like, if you do bounties while you're in Ultimate, you never need the XP. Like, you just do them along with your regular quest. But but if you do Elite, like that, you spend that 1 hour doing Elite, you have all your reps, essentially. All your reps except Barrel Home to max. Barrel Home's the only one that's going to be, that's still not going to be max. So you need to make sure you do a few extra Barrel Home stuff. Barrel Home bounties. I think we're what, 30% Fizz res now? Yeah, almost 30% Fizz res with 4400 armor. have our physical up, so because I couldn't get the pattern for yellows, which are usually super common. And instead of couldn't get the pattern, I just got too lazy to continue farming the pattern. I need to go get a coffee after this. Oh, Shatter Soul Chrono
Well done.
has one? Okay. Which target? Focus fire down. Target. Part of me kind of wants to use the flesh account for the Warcry stuff. Because 100% uptime on Warcry would look really nice. I'd probably put more points in the Warcry a couple of days. Alright, it's jump 9. You're all gonna shoot me at once. That realm version of amalgamation is very hard to do.
Well done.
Alright, last one. The only nemesis I don't want to fight is Arthurian. Because Arthurian has that shotgun. Iron Maiden. Problem is, I can just mostly ignore her with all these things and the games. Like I said, they usually show up too late. Like if you get a nemesis like right near the start, you know, you can either go towards it or go away from it, and it's like super good for your clock time. There's an nemesis right there. That's almost perfect. Stun Master. One of the best Shattered Realms as far as speed goes for clock time. But last time I came in here in the League, this place did not have a treasure chest. I think the best part of the Shattered Realm of the League was the treasure chest. Because having something to do when you're in here, like hunting down treasure chests, is really nice. Oh, there's all blood grove in here on the way to Homestead, I guess I should say. Alright, there we go.
Well
10.
done.
Let's receive my reward. Level 100. That's perfectly fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now I need to remove 3 points. 1 from here. Maybe 2 from here. I think I was going to remove 1, 1, and 1. And then put them all in the shield stuff. We got the other magic boots. Any good SR armor? No, not really. Any good? That's all we got. Alrighty. Let's get a little bit tankier.
I sense turmoil within you.
1, 2, 3. Let's just remove that from there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. What is our resist for? Oh, 24 over? I don't know, we can earn points from that. If we're 24 over.
I sense turmoil within you. Stay strong.
What now? 20 over.
Let me clear your mind of regrets.
Oh, no, no, no. Minus 1 then.
Farewell.
Okay. How about now? We're still 18 over, that's nice. Put it here, now we have 25% damage reduction when that's up. That'll make us tankier. Let's make potions.
Do the best I can with what I've got.
potion anymore. We will use what elixir? Ancients? Yeah, it's gotta be ancients. Ancients. And royal jelly essence. Or do we have the Ogdenbog one? No, we don't. So it's gotta be royal jelly essence. The other one's probably gonna give us more. We didn't go into Ancient Grove, that's why we don't have the other potion. These up. Pants. Okay. Let's clear out our regular inventory. We don't need this stuff in here anymore. We're preparing for a swap. Like preparing to end this playthrough essentially by moving everything out of here. Alright, that's our inventory cleared. Let's go fight Lokar. Hopefully we don't get shitty mods. Alright. You are not welcome.
You've let them all down.
Mighty is actually really good. It's like 20% more damage for our build. Let's let all my stuff come off cooldown, get my health back. Okay. Pop my potions. Alright, this is Lokar. Let's try not to die. The question is, can I change his asunder stuff? Probably need to constantly improve those. Wow, that hurts. Let's get our health back. Get our cooldowns back. should have clusters on my bar.
I do hope you're just warming up.
Let's get our health back, get some of our cooldowns back.
I do hope you're just warming up. What a bloody
There he's
display.
dead. That was a quick low core kill. Yeah, really solid starter build. Everything is easy to farm. I'm using the bisque gloves because I couldn't be bothered to get the pattern at this point, and I'm using this helmet because it dropped. But I would recommend using the Milton helmet instead. Alright, let's make the opening. I think this was my fastest to low core, even though I'm not even close to the revered on all the reps like I was in the other ones. I think it's the fastest because it's the easiest to farm the gear, not because of anything else. CC res is actually pretty solid. Alright, let's record. Alright, this is the starter build. As you saw with the low car kill, I am using the gloves and the helmet that are not in the main build because I got this helmet to drop. This helmet is your better helmet, but it's not worth farming. And these gloves are your bisque gloves, but the attack speed gloves that you get from the crafting are just as good. They don't come with the 25% extra weapon damage though. This is a pretty simple build. It's using everything, like every one of these pieces of gear is guaranteed drops from a boss. The helmet I'm using, the main one is Milton's Cask. This comes from the dog boss in the Hidden Path area. This comes from Mogera, the Manticore boss, Cronley. This comes from the giant dinosaur in Act 7. This comes from the boss behind the dynamite wall. This comes from the Hidden Path second boss. This comes from the crab turtle that you have to kill to get the heart. This comes from the boss that you have to get dynamite from. And this comes from Sister Crimson. So every single thing is like guaranteed kind of farm. Helmet, like the Corvin Cask, you just kind of have to farm it randomly. I wouldn't bother on this version of the build. If you get a good one, use it. If not, then don't bother. Main key of this build is getting really high offensive ability. I'm currently using a potion because I just fought Lokar. So I have extra offensive ability, but usually it has about 3,400 offensive ability, decent defensive ability, 170% attack speed with the ones I got, 13% base life steal, plus 6, plus 10, plus 6 life steal from that. Plus you get a lot of flat damage for Blade Arc as well from these two things. And this gives Blade Arc weapon damage. So you end up with like 30% life steal, which is pretty solid. We're 1,700% damage, which is not bad for a starter build, as you saw in the low car kill. Our resistances are all well overcapped. We would have more defensive ability if we had higher reputation, because we're using the 10%, 8%, like 10% plus health regen, which doesn't help us. Instead of 15%, and then defensive ability plus life or something, or defensive ability. Yeah, I think defensive ability plus life or pure defensive ability would be better here, because if we can get to 3,000 defensive ability, we're very, very tanky. And yeah, overcap movement speed, a little bit of health regen just because it can't hurt, and playtime to low car is less than 19 hours, which is really good. Start to low car. But yeah, I highly recommend this as a starter build. It's really smooth. It's probably not as powerful as a Blitz build, but they did buff it, and it's a bit smoother than a Blitz build in my personal opinion. It feels a little bit tankier than a Blitz build too, like without the legendaries. With the legendaries, Blitz build is going to be better, of course. But yeah, 4,500 armor is pretty nice. As far as skills, we do put points into this to get reduced targets defensive ability so we can crit more, because we have to crit for physical. We put points into this to get offensive ability, more health, more physique, which is more defensive ability, damage reduction, a little bit of resistance reduction, tankiness. This gives us flat damage, percent damage, and armor, which is like super powerful. Offensive ability, health. This is really good early on because you need the reduced reflected damage. 6 points is all you need. I don't really put any points into this. Same thing, I don't really put any points into this. It's just an extra little bit of layer of defense every time it comes on cooldown. Yeah, that's the build. Do a quick Cronley run to show you what it feels like running through and farming stuff. But it's smooth because it's got a dash ability. Really fast. And the area of effect is not bad. Oh, we got the easy path today. You just run along, destroy some things. Your dots and other stuff will. Usually you're gonna get all these abilities. Probably kill this guy because, you rush in here. Just kill Connor.
When I'm done with you, I will crush your friends. My true power.
Having pet attack on your bar is also really nice, by the way. That's cool. That's the Blade Orc build. If you enjoy playing it, link for the full playlist is in the description. As well as stuff for my book. I'll talk to y'all next time. Have a good day. Okay. So that's that. Let's see. Let's clear out our inventory and everything. Prepare this to be transferred over to the main save file. This is a really solid build.
No questions.
Oh, that can't be transferred. I don't care. Okay. I got 2 of the Alchemist rings. Wasting my time in that dungeon.
I'll keep an eye out.
And I'm still not revered for any of my. Make sure I have nothing in the shared stats because the shared stats is about to
I'll
vanish.
keep an eye out.
Still not revered. Revered. Not revered. Revered. Not revered. Not revered. Not revered. Not revered. That would be the next thing I'd do. Is I'd probably get revered in all those factions, and then farm up probably some legendary gloves and boots. Or just use this to farm for my next character, because it's a really fast farmer too because of speed. If I was making it pure farming, I would also pick up Vire's Might. I'd 1 point Vire's Might and 1 point Tectonic Shift, reduce 2 points into Safeguard, or I'd probably reduce Safeguard down to 1, and then Vire's Might, and then Tectonic Shift to max, and reduce Warcry for that as well. Just because, like, for speed, you want to just move around as quickly as possible when farming. And it's tanky enough as it is. Like, you don't need the Safeguard or the damage reduction from Warcry for, like, farming, even for Shattered Realm, for, like, this part of the Shattered Realm. Anyways, I'm gonna move this. I think next time is going to be the Reaper character. See how I like that? I'm probably gonna die. I always fucking die on Reapers. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all next time. Have a good one. Bye.